Hey guys, it's been a while. I know you can tell by the hair. I am going today to make some homemade hash browns. All right, so I'm going to show you how to do that because you really shouldn't make hash browns from raw potatoes. It kind of leaves a weird texture. So what I do is I boil them first. So I par cook them. Okay, that takes care of the the starch, and it gives you a nice crispy hash brown without being like soggy or anyway. On the menu, homemade hash browns. So you want to put the potatoes in a pot, okay, and then you want to fill it up with cold water. Make sure that the potatoes are submerged under the water. All right, so here we go. Now they go on the stove. And put a little, there you go, turn it on. You want to always salt. Now, for however long it takes, I'm going to bring those potatoes to a boil, and then I am going to turn them off, and I'm going to walk away. I don't want them fully cooked. I want them par cooked, okay? So you know how I do with pasta, where I bring it to a boil, then leave it. Yeah, so I'm going to turn it off and then walk away, and you don't even have to look at them anymore, all right? When the water cools down, you take the potatoes out. You can put them in the fridge for a day, 2 days, 3 days, a week. Or you can just shred them and make, whatever it is you're going to make. Okay. Now, I took something for granted that I'm not sure I should have, and that is to explain the boiling. Things boil quicker if you put a lid on it, okay? And that's because it traps the heat and it circulates it better, okay, instead of dissipating into the atmosphere. But the trick with that is that it can boil over, so you got to watch it, okay? Or else you get a mess on the stove, and especially with milk. God, that sucks. So so I was warning you about what might happen if you walk away from the pot, and I walked away from the pot, and it happened. So now, see, now that it's boiling, I don't want it to boil over because of the top, so I'm uncovering it, and I'm going to boil it for 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Now, this way of cooking the potatoes is actually good because you can have them ready and set in your fridge. And you can have a potato salad, you can have home fries, you can have potato skins, you can have French fries. I mean, there's all kinds of things. You just have to cook them. And of course, you can do latkes, which are potato pancakes, which are kind of hash browns combined with some other ingredients made into a patty and then fried. And so who knows what I'm going to do with this, but this is the beginning. I have two different kinds of graters, okay? They're both box graters, but this is the one that I really like. Why? Because it's sturdier. Check it out. It's sturdier, and it's just good. If you like doing stuff like this on a food processor, you can do it. It's quacker. It's quacker. Quack. No, it's quicker. But I like old school. I don't know. It makes me feel like I put more love into the food. So you guys watch the ball drop in New Year's, so do it with me. 3, 2, 1. Taters are done. So now I turn them off. I'm going to set them in the sink. But I'm not going to drain them. I'm just going to leave them here. The reason I do that is because I want them to continue cooking. I just want them to cook slower because I don't want them to overcook, okay? I don't want, like sometimes when you cook the potatoes too much, the skin, depending on how you like it, the skin peels off really quickly. I don't want that. I want my hash browns with the skin. I like my home fries with the skin, all right? So anyway, more fiber. I think it tastes better. So that's what we're going to do. Now, the trick to this too, or rather the benefit to this, is that once the potatoes cool, they're going to be ready. You can slice them. You can do, scallop potatoes or gratin potatoes, like I told you, French fries. You can do potato skins, all kinds of things with this, okay? And have them in the fridge, and it's easy, all right? You can do them the night before like this, so you don't have to stress too much about the other day and have to deal with hot potatoes. All right, so the potatoes have, oh my God. All right, so the potatoes have cooled down. And now I'm just cooling them down with cold water. I'm gonna drain them, put them in the fridge till they're cold, and then I'll use them for the hash browns. All right, so you see, they give a little bit, but they're not too soft. See, a little bit, not too soft. All right, so I have my box grater, okay, and the potatoes. Remember, they give a little bit, but now they're cold. All right, I put them in the fridge overnight. They're easier to work with when they're cold, and they won't turn black. You know how the starch in the potatoes, you have to soak them in water. If you soak them in water, you get rid of the starch and they don't stick together. So now that they are cold and they are ready for shredding, and I got my box grater. All right, here we go. Here we go. So I'm going to use this side, right, of the grater. Oops. And we do this. I love cold potatoes. So, all right. So I grated 2 potatoes because I'm not going to do too many. You're going to do 6, 8, 10, depending on how many people. I would say 1.5. 1 potato is probably good for a small pancake. And let me show you what it looks like. All right. So this is what 2 potatoes look like. Well, shredded, all right? Now, at this point, you can decide what you want to do with these potatoes. You want to do a big potato pancake. You want to do latkes. You want to do hash browns. You want to do tater tots. All of this starts from this point, okay? I'm going to do a couple of hash browns, and that's it because that's what I want. So I'm going to cook them crispy. I'm going to season them. I'm going to season them with some adobo, and then I'll put a little oil in the pan, and then I'm going to let them cook slow so they get nice and crispy. I'm going to use the scoop here, which is a number 20 scoop. You see the number right there, to scoop out so I can portion it. And when you're cooking like this, it's always important about portioning, you know? I mean, just do that. You can have 3 of them as long as you know that it's portioned. So the oil is getting hot. The potatoes are shredded. They're seasoned. I got the scoop. And now it goes to the stove. 1 scoop. And into the oil. All right, so now we just let them cook. And you cook them under low heat so they can crisp up. Right, now you'll know when to turn them, and this is about 2.5 minutes in. You know when to turn them because you see the edge. See that? It's starting to brown, right? So we're gonna take a look at this bad boy. Okay. All right, I'm gonna need 2 hands. All right, there you go. Keep cooking them. They're looking good. Now keep in mind, when you use the scoop, you want to force the mixture into it tight, okay? Because you want the hash brown to be formed, okay, so that it stays together in the pan. Or you can do it by hand, just, you know, like palm size, and shape it and then put it in the pan, okay? Make sure you put a little bit of oil, flip them over, put a little bit of oil, and let them get brown, all right? That's it. Oh, and one thing I forgot to say. You can omit the seasoning and just do salt and pepper. You can add some thyme. You can add some herbs. You can add some green onions. You can add some white onions. If you do the white onions, I suggest you do some really shaved white onions, okay? Or even grated, because that works well. And it'll be tasty. And as I promised, homemade hash browns. These are so good. And here you got homemade hash browns. Here we go. Hear the crunch. Hear that crunch? Really good. I'm gonna make the next one a nice big one. So here you go, hash brown. Red onions. It could be a potato pancake. You hear that? All right, here we go. Hot. You hear the crunch. There's nothing better than homemade hash browns like this, all right? And if you don't want to do it in a pan, you can actually scoop it into a muffin tin. Make sure you spray the muffin tin. And bake it in the oven. 350, 15, 20 minutes, okay? and you'll get a nice little crunch on it. Chef Will Gotay, thanks for joining me, man. Try this recipe. It's easy, it's tasty, and it works for so many things, all right?